Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sephora. I'm an attorney and a life coach. I help ambitious women reach their dreams and reach their next level of success. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and let's get into the video. We're going to be talking all about how you can change your life immediately. Like not tomorrow, not the next day, not 3 months down the road, immediately, right now. Steps that you can take to begin changing your life and reach that next level version of yourself. The first thing that you're going to want to do is establish a routine. People with a routine are naturally more composed, or at least they have more direction. They feel more in charge of their life. They feel more disciplined because they have this routine that they know they're going to follow on a daily or at least weekly and even monthly basis. So there are different types of routines. There's morning routines, there's night routines, there's day routines, weekly routines. However you format your routine or however you want your routine to look like, it's going to present itself around whatever your personal schedule looks like. The point of a routine is to put in the most important aspects of your day and input things that is going to work you towards your goals. So let's just say one of your goals is you want to be an overall boss woman, right? You want to level up. You want to level up your appearance. You want to level up your hygiene. You want to level up your inner self, right? Everything about you just want to present on the next level. Then your routine is going to need to include steps that work you to that next level, right? And what I always say, what I always tell my clients is you need to become her today. You need to act as if you are already at that next level of who it is you are trying to become. So let's actually get into what a routine may look like. So let's say you wake up in the morning around 6:30 a.m. and you are actively trying to work on yourself, like I just gave the example. And so that means you're going to engage in self-reflection. The very first thing you do in the morning is you engage in self-reflection. What things about you do you want to change? What do you want to be consciously thinking about throughout the day to be working on? And I'll give you a concrete example actually. So a couple of years ago, one thing I knew about myself was that I was not a forgiving person. Okay, can anyone relate? I mean, like, if you did me wrong, you were cut, snip, goodbye. I did not give second chances, like at all. And I knew that was something that I wanted to work on about myself. I wanted to become more forgiving, okay? So I actively taught myself, or I actually worked on myself. I want to become a more forgiving person. And so one of the things I did was, likewise, I journaled in the morning, right? I talked about how I felt and why I felt like I didn't want to forgive people and why I wanted to change that and how I was going to go about changing that, right? I would look for opportunities in my day to actively forgive people. And I even took a step further and decided to forgive people in the past. And so this is all things that you would be doing in the morning, right? This is your routine. If you decide like, hey, I want to become, one of the things I want to work on about myself is I want to become more forgiving. So this is what you're doing in the morning. And so like this morning, I remember this one specific morning, I said, you know what, today, to help myself really become this forgiving person, I'm going to reach out to people in the past who have done me wrong, like done me dirty, okay? And I'm going to, even if I didn't reach out to them, I decided in my mind, like I reached out to some, I didn't reach out to all, I'm gonna be honest, but I decided in my mind that I was going to forgive them and I was not going to like hold it against them. And so I would make a list of people and say like, all right, I'm either gonna reach out to this person or I'm just going to say like, I've forgiven you for what you've done, right? And that, the act of forgiveness and like leveling up yourself and making yourself a better person is it's very deep, right? And that's because you are giving yourself peace back. And so when I say that I was deciding to forgive people, that wasn't me saying, and then now we're gonna be best friends and we're gonna go a key to the store together. Absolutely not. That was just me deciding that I was not going to let that hover over my head. I was not going to let that dictate how I lived my life or lived my future, because I was not going to carry that hate around, right? So that's a concrete example of one way that I, a couple of years ago, was working to level up my inner self. So I use forgiveness as an example. You can use self-care as an example. Like, what way do you want to start taking more care of yourself? Is it getting regular waxes? Is it putting on makeup in the morning and getting dressed in the morning, right? Whatever it is, every single morning, your routine would be writing down the actual way or whatever it is you're going to do to work yourself towards changing that specific aspect of yourself. So that's an inner work example of your morning routine, right? Let's just say your next routine was, or let's just say someone else wanted to, I want to build my business to over 6 figures, right? So your morning routine would be journaling about either why you deserve a 6-figure business, or why you're going to have a 6-figure business, or how you're going to create your 6-figure business, right? Anything surrounding that, that's maybe what your journaling would look like. It can also include steps you're going to take to work towards your business that day. I personally either plan out my week on Sundays for the entire week, or I'll plan out my day the night before. However, you can absolutely do this as part of your journaling morning routine. The other thing that I think is really beneficial for anyone who is working to level themselves up, reach the next level, business professional, career professional, entrepreneur, business owner, whatever it is, social media influencer, content creator, whatever it is, I think affirmations is also another thing that is going to be very helpful to include in your morning routine. So right, that first part was more so journaling. That's like inner reflection. That's talking about what you're going to be doing throughout the day, how you're going to change, how you're going to actively work on whatever it is your goal is. Affirmations is affirmatively saying you have those things you are working on. It's actually bringing into reality and making of yourself what you are dreaming of, what you are working towards. And I always think that's beneficial because it works towards an abundance mindset. Now, we do have actually an entire separate video on like mindset and abundance, so I'm not going to get too much into that, but absolutely affirmations as part of your morning routine is going to be very, very helpful. And then the third thing that's going to be part of your morning routine is prayer. And sometimes like I have like my daily Bible verse. I have the app that I go through and I read through that and I go through the prompts. And then sometimes I even frame my affirmations and my manifestations as prayers, right? So however you want to do it, that's an example of a morning routine. Like I said, it can differ depending on the person. So now that you've got your morning routine done, and I said you woke up at 6:30, that's probably no longer than like 30 to 45 minutes, right? Unless you want to wake up earlier and do it even longer. And maybe you want to improve or put something in your morning routine like exercise, like a morning walk or going to the gym. When I was in law school, I actually preferred to go to the gym in the morning. So part of my morning routine was getting up and going to the gym. And it was very easy for me because my first class wasn't until like 11 a.m. or something like that. So I had a really robust morning routine. So the purpose here is to establish this routine to help keep you grounded. This, like I said, is something you can do right now. There is absolutely no reason for you to wait. Sit down and write out your routine. If you need some help writing your routine, let me know in the comments below. The next thing that you're going to do when you are trying to level up and change your life immediately is to evaluate your surroundings. What I like to call this is the audit, right? Your people audit. And what I mean by that is look around you, not like physically, but more so metaphorically speaking, but also physically speaking, I guess. I don't know. But look around you. Who do you spend the most time with? Is it your family? Is it your friends? Is it your significant other? Who do you spend the most time with, and how are they affecting your thoughts and how you think and behave? Because that is so important. When you are on the journey to leveling up and changing your mindset, changing who you are and trying to become that next level version of yourself, you cannot have people around you who are bringing you down, okay? Because all they're gonna do is keep you negative, drag you down to the floor, keep you stagnant, and you will never progress beyond where you currently are. That is why it is so important to evaluate your surroundings. You need to surround your people who are likewise working on themselves, who are likewise on the journey to becoming the most successful and empowered version of themselves. You need to surround yourself with people who can help you get to your goals, right? You need to do everything you can to put yourself in an environment where you are succeeding, where everyone around you is succeeding, where all you see is success, where all you feel is success. Why? Because if that is your surroundings, that is what you are going to be, see, feel, and hear. Have you ever heard the saying, birds of a feather flock together? Because that is absolutely true, okay? And I'll try to give concrete examples in everything I'm talking about here. So one thing that I did was when I was starting my business and how I scaled my business actually to over $10,000 a month was by getting a business coach and joining a group, like a business coaching group, where I was going to be surrounded with women like me who are likewise working on building their business, who are likewise working on themselves, who likewise value themselves, right? So that is what I intentionally did. So literally every day, that was my surroundings. That is what I was hearing. I could talk to these women. I could hear from them. I could hear their stories. There's women who were making 7 figures yearly in, you know, in this group. So that was an investment that I made in myself and improving my surroundings so that I could live a better life. And like I said, obviously it paid off. And I'm actually still in this group. So when I'm talking about evaluating your surroundings, I really do mean taking away, cutting off those people who can't go where you are going, who can't go to all the way to the top with you because of their mindset, because of who they are, because they refuse to change, whatever it may be. I'm not saying you have to have any bad blood against these people. They just can't go where you're going. And so you're gonna have to let them go. There's a couple of other ways you can change your surroundings other than like joining like-minded communities, making a large investment like I did. You can also change where you live. I have lived in luxury apartments ever since my very first luxury apartment in 2017. And the way that you feel when you are in a luxury building is just phenomenal. Like you wake up and want to be productive. Also, the people who live in luxury apartments, there's more networking opportunities. Like my apartment is full of attorneys and doctors. You know, business owners, different types of things like that. So just again, being very intentional about curating your surroundings. And then the last thing that I'll say here is curating your surroundings involves doing a social media audit. Who on your social media is always crying? Who is always boo-hoo-hoo negativity about something, right? Unfollow them. Follow creators, follow people like myself who are going to make you feel good about yourself, who are going to inspire you to take action, who are going to inspire you to do more. That's another way that you are subconsciously going to be priming your mind because of what you see. Step number 3, identify your goals. You cannot be shooting blind. What I mean by that is if you don't have a goal, you are on your way to nowhere, okay? You are on your way to nowhere. You need a goal because you always need to have a target that you are aiming for. So I gave a couple examples in the beginning. Maybe you want to work on your inner self. Maybe you're just trying to become that boss woman, right? And there's specific aspects you want to work on. And so that's your goal. Maybe you want to scale your business to 6 figures. Maybe that's your goal, right? Whatever it is, you need to have a concrete goal. Your goal should be both long-term and short-term. Let me know if you want me to make a specific goal making video, but your goal should also be practical and you should also be able to see once you've hit goals, because it'll not only build confidence, but it'll keep you motivated to keep going to your ultimate goal, to your final goal. And so your long-term goals is like, I want this, you know, I want to be the CEO of a Fortune 500 company, right? Maybe that's an example of a long-term goal. So your short-term goals would be the intermediate steps you're taking in the meantime to hit that long-term goal. And then you would be creating your plan and your action to actually get there. Number 4, the 4th step to changing your life immediately is engaging in self-reflection. I talked about this a little bit in the beginning. When it came to setting a routine, it was the example I gave. However, even if that is not necessarily like a part of your routine or your ultimate goal, you still need to engage in self-reflection because everyone has strengths and weaknesses. And that is what the purpose of this self-reflection is going to be. Evaluate your strengths, evaluate your weaknesses. Wherever you are strong at, you know, I'm like, for example, my goal is to be a book writer and I'm very good at writing, but maybe you are absolutely terrible with, I don't know, computer systems. And so that's a weakness for you. Then you know you need to outsource that. You need to find someone who can do that for you, or you need to find a way to simplify it. The point here is everyone is weak at something. Whatever you are weak at, you need to be aware of it. If you are not aware of your weaknesses, you're doing yourself a disservice, and that's only going to hold you back longer. So I'll give you another example. In my business, I am absolutely terrible at learning how to use Facebook ads and marketing with Facebook digital ads. And instead of spending 20 hours trying to figure it out and still probably not doing a great job, I'm smart enough to say like, hey, let me just meet with someone else who can do these for me, okay? Because again, when you are on your way to leveling up and making yourself more successful, reaching your goals and your dreams, you need to make smart decisions, and that involves making smart investments. In order to do that, you need to know your strengths and your weaknesses. Another part of this is understanding where you thrive and where you don't thrive. I thrive in front of a camera. I thrive in speaking events. That's my bread and butter. I do not thrive behind a computer, typing and writing. And so why would I choose to start a business, or why would I choose to make my primary goal to be behind a computer, right? And so that's how self-reflection really plays into reaching your next level and changing your life. There's tons of other things I could talk about here, because self-reflection is also very helpful for like understanding your mindset, your belief systems, your values, and how that affects your everyday life. But again, that's another video when we talk all about mindset. Number 5, when it comes to changing your life immediately, is finding coaches and mentors. And I will say this, I mean, I talked about the business coach that I started working with a while ago, and how that has, I mean, my investment has paid off like 20 times over. But also, even just outside of business, literally coaches and mentors in whatever it is you do. There's a coach for literally everything. People who can lead you there much quicker than you could ever get yourself there. And I mean, there is just so much I could say on this topic. Obviously, I'm a coach myself, and I've seen the progression that I've taken my clients from like here to here, but also in my own life, like in law school, how coaches have gotten me to achieve, helped me to achieve check every single thing I have put my mind to, right? How coaches have helped me to do that. And so finding coaches and mentors eliminates struggling. Like, why would you want to struggle, right? And I talk about this, or I say this all the time in a lot of my videos, it's you have to be willing to invest in yourself. You need to become the person that you are aiming to be right now, okay? You can't let limiting beliefs or mindset blocks stop you from striving towards your goals and making those investments in yourself. So finding coaches and mentors, maybe I should have started with this one, but it's definitely one of the most important things you could do, because there are people who have done what you have done already, and there are people who can help you get to where you are going. There's absolutely no need for you to be reinventing the wheel. There's no need for it, okay? Tip number 6 that I have for you guys to change your life immediately is all about taking action. Stop waiting for something magical to happen. Stop waiting for some event to happen, for something to occur, or for you to get some sign. Just start now. Literally start now. Start with the tips that I gave you. Start posting on social media, whatever it looks like for you. Start taking that action now. The action doesn't have to be perfect. The action doesn't have to ring to thousands of bells. It doesn't have to do anything special. Just start taking action now, because the sooner you take action, the sooner you will reach your goals. Those are the 6 tips that I have for you guys to take to reaching your life goals and leveling up so you can be your most empowered and successful self. Again, my name is Sephora. I'm a life coach and an attorney. If you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button and comment down below and let me know what types of videos you guys want to see, and if you found this video helpful. If you are interested in life coaching opportunities, feel free to go to my website. It is linked in the bio, sephoragray.com. Also, make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok, Sephora Gray ESQ for Esquire, and I will see you guys on my next one. Thanks for watching. Bye.